Have you ever had a moment that made your heart stop, not from fear, but from something far more dangerous? A moment where a single glance, a single question, felt like crossing a line you were never supposed to approach? That's how it began for me. Not with thunder, not with chaos, but with silence, and a look I should have ignored. The first time I noticed him, I told myself it was nothing. Just a flicker of curiosity that would fade as quickly as it came. But it didn't. Instead, it lingered, settling into me like a spark that refused to burn out. His name was Landon. My husband's son from his first marriage. He wasn't a child anymore, he carried himself with a quiet confidence that unsettled me more than I cared to admit. At first, I brushed it off. A glance here, a smile there. Innocent, I convinced myself. But once I saw it, the way his eyes lingered when he thought I wasn't looking, I couldn't unsee it. And worse, I didn't stop myself from looking back. It began with small moments. He'd wander into the kitchen in the mornings, leaning against the counter while I made coffee. That half-smirk tugged at his lips, his eyes following every movement I made as though he were memorizing them. He never said anything, but the silence between us thickened, charged with something unspoken. Something I didn't dare name. One evening, my phone rang. David, my husband, was calling from the office. Another late night, another dinner I would spend alone. I should have been used to it by then, but disappointment still settled in my chest like an anchor. "You don't seem surprised," came a voice behind me. I turned. Landon stood in the doorway, arms crossed, his expression unreadable. "I'm not," I admitted softly. "Work always comes first." He studied me for a long moment, then murmured, "That's a shame." The way he said it wasn't sympathy. It was sharper, heavier. My pulse skipped, betraying me. "You shouldn't talk like that," I warned, though my voice was unsteady. "Like what?" He stepped closer, his tone almost playful. "Like I notice things. I should have looked away. I should have walked out of that kitchen. But I didn't. Something magnetic pulled me in, holding me there." "This isn't funny," I said, gripping the counter for steadiness. "Who said I was joking?" I told him to go out that night, to see his friends. To give me space. "I'm having fun right here," he replied, a low chuckle escaping him. Then his expression shifted, serious now. "But you should know something." "What?" I whispered. "I don't think I want to stop." I should have been furious. I should have drawn a line in the sand. But I didn't. My body betrayed me with a heat I didn't want to name. And worse, I wasn't sure I wanted to stop either. For days, I avoided him. I busied myself with errands, endless calls with David, anything to keep my mind away from the way Landon's words had rooted inside me. But avoidance was never enough. One night, needing air, I stepped outside. The sky hung heavy with storm clouds, and the first drops of rain cooled my skin. That's when I saw him. Landon was in the backyard, shirtless, his muscles flexing as he moved through a slow, deliberate workout. I knew I should turn back inside. Instead, I froze. Watching. He noticed. Of course he did. "You don't have to hide," he said, grabbing a towel, sweat glistening on his chest. "I wasn't hiding," I answered too quickly. "Then why do you keep running?" He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "This isn't a game." "Never said it was," he murmured, eyes locked on mine. "But I think you're lying to yourself." "Stop," I whispered. It wasn't a command. It was a plea. He brushed my hand. Just a touch, but it burned through me like fire. "You feel it too," he said. A crack of thunder split the sky, and the rain began to fall harder, soaking us both. I stepped back, heart racing. This can't happen. He didn't argue. He didn't need to. His silence was louder than any words. That night, I barely slept. His voice, his touch, lingered. By morning, I tried to convince myself it had been the storm, nature amplifying emotions that weren't really there. But when I walked into the kitchen, he was already waiting. "You didn't run this time," he said softly. "There's nothing to run from," I lied. "Are you sure?" I wasn't. Not at all. As he brushed past me, his hand grazed my waist, deliberate. "That could have been accidental," I managed. "It wasn't." You keep saying this can't happen, he whispered. But you never say you don't want it to. Another storm rolled in that night. Louder. Heavier. And when he found me alone again, I didn't stop him. I let it happen. 3 days blurred into a haze of whispered words behind closed doors and lingering glances across the dinner table. David remained oblivious, or so I thought. He wasn't supposed to come back early. But one evening, I heard the front door creak open. A suitcase hit the floor. I froze halfway down the stairs. David stood there, eyes darting past me, straight to the bedroom door behind. He didn't say a word. He didn't need to. Later, I found him in his study, a glass of whiskey in hand. He didn't look at me when he asked, "Do you love him?" I couldn't answer. I didn't know. But my silence, my hesitation, said everything. The next morning, David was gone. Now the house feels different. Quieter. He and I, Landon and I, move around each other like ghosts. Broken, guilty, bound by something neither of us can define. And when I asked him what happens now, his reply was barely a whisper. I don't know. I should walk away. I should end this before there's nothing left to salvage. But instead, I let him take my hand. Because despite the wreckage, despite the guilt, there's something I can't deny. And maybe that's the most dangerous part of all.